Okay, hello YouTube. I got another little project with a Furibee F36. This is what we got here. And my wife wants a purple Furibee. So this is the color she wants in a purple. It's gloss purple. It's more like a plum color, really dark purple. This is supposed to be for plastic and everything too. Since I don't have a compressor for my airbrush anymore and I don't have gloss paints for that, I'm going to have to be using this spray paint. So yeah, I'm going to have to get all that paint off of this thing to begin with and see what happens. So I'll be back with the progress here. Okay, we got about half an hour of scraping here, and I noticed that sandpaper, even the fine, well, this is some 400 grit, the 600 grit didn't do squat. Tried the 400 grit, still didn't do anything, but getting much rougher than that is going to really mess up the body. So I've been using X-Acto knife to scrape across it, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in the front of this thing. Once you got all that paint off there, you can really see those little crevices and folds and everything like that in the body shape. So and I also noticed on the canopy, I was going to try and salvage the canopy part and so I could still have the Furibee up here, but every time I got near that black there was orange underneath, so I'm going to have to scrape the whole thing off and repaint the whole thing purple and then mask it off and then paint the black. It just won't say Furibee anymore. So I guess I'll be back with a little more progress here. Let's do some more scraping. Okay, we are about, I'd say an hour and 10 minutes into scraping this. I started using this curved X-Acto blade and it's helping quite a bit, but I still don't know how I'm going to get into these little crevices here. They're still orange in those. They're like little vent holes. They're not really holes, they're just divots. But right here I didn't have too much trouble. That wasn't too bad. I just still got to do the other side on those. But yeah, this right here, this I still haven't figured that out yet. Because I can't get this down in there. I might have to use a pointier knife and just gradually take a little bit at a time out of there. So at least you see some progress here. Let's hope all this works out. Okay, so after about two and a half hours of scraping total, pretty much got everything off of there. Just a little bit of orange still down in those little crevices. I'm hoping that doesn't pose a problem with the spray paint. So now you can see what the Furibee body looks like without any paint on it. There are a lot of curves and lines in here that are hard to get into, but I didn't have to worry about the bottom so much, just the edges right there on the clips. I did scrape those off, and I scraped the very bottom edge all the way around. So the next step is clean that up, and then I'm going to use this purple and see how that goes. Just a few light coats, let a little bit of dry time in between, and hopefully it turns out nice. Don't know how it's going to react, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we will have a purple Furibee body here soon. Be right back with that. Okay, I forgot to take a little video when it was still purple, but I did do the whole thing purple, and I did mask off the top section there where the canopy is for the cockpit area, and I used the some masking, hobby masking, micro mask kind of type of stuff, and then cut it off and trimmed it around where the canopy goes, and then I just sprayed it black. So now it's a matter of waiting until I can peel this off and get to the purple underneath the mask. So the mask is everywhere except for the center canopy. So we'll see how this turns out. This is an experiment here on these bodies, so we'll see what happens. Be right back. Okay, so now this Furibee body is actually dry enough to start working with. As long as I don't touch the canopy area. It's still a little bit tacky. I already started pulling some of the mask off here. This micro mask stuff is kind of hard to get it started, but once you get it started, it's pretty easy to pull off. So I'm going to go ahead and start peeling this off. and we'll see what the final result is. You can see that there's the purple underneath the mask that I just pulled off right there. So I'm going to start peeling and show you some progress. Okay, so we're getting there. Just a couple minutes in here, and we have just about half of it done. A little more than half, probably. But it seems to be turning out okay. I mean, it's not absolute perfection, but for what I had here to work with, it seems to be turning out just fine. So we're going to continue peeling and see what the end result is. Okay, so here's the purple Furibee body. I don't know if it looks actually purple on the camera, but it certainly looks like a dark purple here. It looks more blue on my camera, so I don't know if that's going to show up really good on the video. But yeah, it's definitely purple. In the camera here, it looks blue. So it's kind of hard to tell how purple this actually is. Get some better light maybe. Yeah, it kind of looks purple there. Okay, but it is a really dark purple. There's all the stuff I peeled off of it just now, but now it's just a little bit of touching up. I know it's not absolute perfection, but you know, they have special equipment that they do in the factories, so this is just the best I could do with what I have here. So we'll see what it looks like on a quad here as soon as I can get some props. Okay, so we're almost done with this. Now here's the body after it's dried really good. And it doesn't really look purple to me on the camera here, but it is definitely a dark purple. Finally got the canopy painted black up here as well. It's not absolutely perfect because I had to use spray paint because I don't have a compressor for my airbrush anymore. And I did have to scrape all that old paint off, so this is a little bit rough. I am going to experiment a little bit with a couple more of these things, see if I can get different paint jobs on them eventually here. But the biggest problem is getting all the old paint off of them to put the new paint on without making all kinds of scuff mark kind of things going on. So I'm going to try different methods of stripping that other paint off so the plastic paint will actually adhere to this. But so anyway, I did find some purple props. They are 4-bladed props instead of 2 or 3 like I was looking for. But they came with green and blue props as well, and they're semi-transparent. So now it's just a matter of taking this brand new cyan colored Furibee and popping all this on it. So let's start by getting some props off of here. And just kind of carefully lift up on that motor with my fingernail. Okay, get it up high enough to get my trusty little pointy little tweezers underneath there. Get them underneath the prop. And hold the prop in position so you don't bend the shaft. And just slide them through. Now we got one that is a counterclockwise. Just stick this back on here. Okay, push that all back down. Blow on it, make sure it spins freely. Let me get the next one. Lift that. Now let's get that other body on here. And just fingernail and pop that off. And there goes my air conditioner kicking on. Yeah, it's going to get a little noisy, but it is pretty hot outside and I'm not turning that air off. So let's pop this body on here. That first pin in there, that's the hardest part, I think, actually. That, if it doesn't cooperate, to go down into place. And excuse the band-aid, but I filleted my thumb open pretty good, and I got some stitches there. Barely got it covered so I could actually function with this. Got just enough band-aid on there to cover the stitches so you guys don't have to look at them. Alright, it's going to be about another week and a half before I can get them out. Okay, it's not cooperating, of course. So let's Try to get this over this way a little more. Got to get it in between those air ducts. It doesn't want to go down. There it goes. Okay, so there we go. Got a purple Furibee. And that's pretty much what my wife wanted. She picked out the color of the body. It still doesn't look purple to me. Let's try this light right here. Still looks blue on my camera, but it is a really dark purple. So, but there you go. Purple Furibee. A little bit of work on it. Using micro mask, spray paint, X-Acto knives to scrape all the old paint. A couple of layers. And I had to mask it off. I just did it all purple, then I had to mask it off and do the black with the micro mask there, and then spray the black on it. But when I did the purple, I did the whole thing, and then when I did the black, I actually masked it off, the whole thing with the micro mask, trimmed off around the edge here, and peeled that off, scraped the purple off of the canopy area so the plastic black would actually adhere, and repainted it with the black, and you saw the process with some of that. But there you go, purple Furibee. And one of these days I'll find a purple canopy that I can use for a FPV camera on one of them, so that way my wife can have a purple one with the FPV. So there you go, purple Furibee project. It is finished, and I guess we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.